Let me just check. Yeah. Yes, this is day 17 video, even though this is day 18, Saturday. So I'm from Houston, so I'm in Houston right now, and it's absolutely amazing. It's chilly. It's been raining all of, not all, but most of this week. I think some of last week. So, which is typical for fall here in the Houston area. It hadn't rained for a month and a half, but we had a lot of rain in the summer and the spring, so it's whatever. All that to say is that it's gorgeous outside. It's like one of those days where the clouds are thin, but they're covering everything. So it's it's 7:30 and there's not supposed to be a lot of light outside anyways in November, but I like it like this. To me, if it could be like this the whole day, you know what I mean? And then I love it whenever I like the fall and the winter because of how early night gets. Just love it. I digress. Day 17. Day 17 was good. It was one of those Fridays where usually on Fridays I don't go in the office, and if I do, it's very minimal work, to be honest. But this Friday, I had to go into the office, had 2 meetings. They went well in the morning. And after that, worked on some work. Usually people leave the office by 3 o'clock on Fridays. But since I was going to go out with a friend, on the west side, I figured I'm just closer staying at the office the whole day. So I just, worked, and then worked on some personal stuff, and then I started working on Christmas shopping and other kind of housekeeping stuff. So yeah, he was hitting my protein goals. I was, because I knew that I was gonna be up pretty late, that I not gonna get home till 12:31, maybe later. I was kind of stretching out my protein shakes to be 3 hours in between, kind of. And so I didn't go to the gym, but I did a little bit of cardio with kind of just being out and about. I think, as I've said, I'm taking salsa lessons on Monday, and then so I went out with a friend to a social. So I did some cardio there. Wasn't much, but yeah, I was also practicing a little bit beforehand and things like that. So, but overall, it was a pretty good Friday. Yesterday was a good Friday because it really motivated me. Because I saw this video the other day, and it was this guy, I don't like the term finance bro, because it's a very general term. I don't know. It is what it is. It doesn't apply to me, even though I work in finance. When I think of finance bros, I'm thinking about the Grant Cardones. I'm thinking about the, there's those weird. Usually they're in real estate, to be honest. If you notice, they're usually in real estate, or in real estate. What else kind of investments are they in? Real estate, life insurance, but not variable life insurance. You know what I mean? Cryptocurrency, which I don't have a problem with crypto. I hold some. But he was at this conference, right? And unfortunately, that finance bro is also kind of melted with the alpha male content, which I think for the most part that content is like not good, but there's some truth to some, whatever. Anyways, he said, you should never be home, right? You should always be out. You should be networking. You should be with friends. You should be this and this and that, exploring. You should be that. And I wish I would have saw that video when I was in high school, honestly. I wish I would, or middle school, really. You know what I mean? Because it's very true. Now, I don't think I would take it as extreme as him and saying you should never be home. But, you know what I mean? Because it's good to spend family time. It's good to spend time at home and, decompress. And, if you have siblings, spend time with them and your parents. But I think a lot of times, unless it's natural for you to have a lot of friends, or for you to be very outgoing, or you don't like to be sitting still. You know what I mean? It can be very common where you sort of create these habits of being home a lot, right? And you create a comfort around there, and it's habitual. So then you become this kind of person that says, "Oh, I'm introverted," or "I'm a homebody," or your social battery is like very low. My social battery is very low. I left pretty early. Like I went out to the social. I was there for like 2 hours, which to me is like a long time. But you know what I mean. I left. The party had like 2 hours to go. You know what I mean? And so because my social battery is low, but it's one of those things where you can build it up. Because I guarantee you, 2 years ago, I would have probably not even gone. Or if I would have gone, it would have been for an hour. Or if I would have, there was a cover charge, I would have been like, once I heard there was a cover charge, I'm not paying that, you know what I mean? So, all that to say, it ties into this weight loss journey, because I think if I would have opened my mind, you know what I mean, to different things, when it comes to exercising, when it comes to calorie counting and different diets, because back then, pre-surgery, like pre-incident 2021 Sebastian, every once in a while I would do keto, maybe a day or two fast, or growing up, my mom was really concerned about my weight all the time. Which looking back now, I'm thankful for that. You know what I mean? Because she cared. And maybe at the moment it pissed me off and it bothered me, and maybe at times the way she went about it wasn't the right way, but she cared. And so, there would be phases of juicing, and there would be phases of this and that, you know what I mean? But I wish I had a more open mind to be like, hey man, take your life seriously. You know what I mean? Invest in your life, invest in being a social person, invest in having your mind open to, you know what I mean, to becoming healthy. You know what I mean? I'm ending the year strong. I'm doing, at work, I'm flourishing, I feel. You know what I mean? I'm starting to get in that groove, you know what I mean, where, I'm starting to really exercise the experience that I've been accumulating and what I've seen, what I've heard, right? But that came because this year I was intentional. You know what I mean? I'm going out and doing different things. I'm going to this festival. I'm hanging out at this jazz club. I'm taking salsa lessons. I'm going to this social. I'm going to this park, or I'm trying this or that. You know what I mean? But I wish I would have done it, sooner. Where would my life be if I had opened my mind and my heart, sooner? You know what I mean? It's like now I'm doing this hardcore thing, because I want to lose weight, because I wanna feel confident, I want to feel good, I also want my ambitions to match my reality. You know what I mean? For instance, I'm gonna be vulnerable. Let's take salsa lessons. I've gotten exponentially better over the last month and a half. I've been taking salsa lessons for about a month and a half. From my first lesson to my last lessons is day and night. But, you know what I mean? Stamina wise, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get tired after one or two songs. You know what I mean? Because, dancing takes a lot out of you, right? And then also is a speed factor. You know what I mean? It's like keeping up with the song. You know what I mean? That correlates to your weight. Now you might be saying, oh, well, I've seen heavy people, dance really well. Yeah, you know what I mean? But it's a concerted effort. It's a concerted effort, and I bet you they can't last the whole night. And if they last the whole night, there's other things that they're relying on. And it's also, I bet you, it takes so much concentration for them to be as quick as everyone else that is not thinking about having to be as quick. That's the reality. Let's not lie to ourselves. It bothers me when people say things like, oh, I've seen that, or I can do this. Or, let's be honest. Okay? Things like dancing are way easier when you're at a healthy weight. A weight in which you can move fluidly and feel confident to do so. You know what I mean? So things like that are matter. And it goes to what I was speaking about, never being home. It's like you have to build habits in junior high and high school of what you want your life to look like. And also realize that at that age, you might have a vision of what your life wants to look like, but you don't know jack. So research. So find out. You know what I mean? Because the other thing would be like, if you would have told 15-year-old me about this or that, I would have said, I'm not interested in that. I don't care about that. But how would I know? I'm only saying that based on what I think I know. I've never done it. I've not experienced it. You know what I mean? So it's like, be open to preparing yourself for a future, because you don't know. You know what I mean? It's like when people pigeonhole themselves in things, like they get so specific in things, you know what I mean, only to find out when the time comes, it's not my jazz. It's not what I want out of life. You know what I mean? And you pigeonhole yourself so bad that, like, to now, move anywhere else or do anything else is going to take so much effort because you were so focused on that one thing. Now, it's good to be focused, have like a singular goal, but I think it's also important to try to be well-rounded. You know what I mean? In skills and personality and abilities. You know what I mean? It's like people who say, there was kids growing up that were like, I don't like sports. You know what I mean? And that's fine. You don't have to like sports. But sports is a good way, if you play in a team, if you play a sport, it's a good way to build up social battery, social cues. Like, it teaches you how to be social. It teaches you how to take commands and orders. It teaches you creativity. You know what I mean? There's so much more benefits, intrinsic benefits to an activity that goes more beyond, I'm not interested in that. I don't like to do that. It also builds good habits. You know what I mean? How many times did I see kids, back in high school that they like football, but you know what I mean? They weren't like, oh, I love football and that's why I'm on the football team, or I love this or that. It was like, okay, it's something to be a part of. And then from there, maybe they didn't do that the whole 4 years. Maybe they only did that 1 or 2 years. But after that, they became serious about their health. Like, they built up good health habits. Like, you could, they were talking about, oh, I do a morning run or I do this or that. They were physically active because that was activating them. That was like, okay, oh, wow. Like, yes, this is football and maybe this is like not my life and I'm not looking to go to college football or the NFL. But this, okay, now I realize that I like going to the gym. I like, lifting weight. Oh, se ponchó la llanta. You know what I mean? Ay, carajo, se ponchó la llanta bien gacho. You know what I mean? But you would have never known that if you would have been like, oh, football's not my thing. You know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? Soccer's not my thing. Or this is not my thing. So it's like we pigeonhole ourselves a lot. And then whenever we get older, it's like, oh man, look at that person. They're doing that. You know what I mean? And you can start, you know what I mean? But you're going to get frustrated. And the older you get, the harder it is, you know what I mean, to learn things, to, you know, to even make, you know, friends is make friends. I don't have a lot of friends, to be honest. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I've struggled with, is that I don't have a lot of friends. And it's, you don't have to have a lot of friends, but like, I don't even have like a few friends, to be honest. I've always said this. I know a lot of people, but not a lot of people really know me, or like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean? Now that I'm older, I'm trying to put myself in a position to know more people and to be part of people's lives and for them to be part of my life. But it's difficult because, you know, a lot of people already have their friends, their established friend groups and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But if I would have, you know, been more intentional in middle school and in high school, you know, in college, you know, I could have set myself. What I'm saying is you have to set yourself up for the future. You know what I mean? You have to look forward, and you have to have vision. You have to have diligence and prudence and be like, hey man, if I do this now, it's going to benefit me later. You know what I mean? Take that for everything, for studying, you know, whether it's actual academics because you want to go to college, or trade school, or some kind of skill for business. You know what I mean? Whatever. Tenemos espacio. Whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like, prepare yourself. You know what I mean? How much time did I waste playing video games and watching movies and TV shows growing up, man? And it's like, it could have been a balance. You know what I mean? I could have had a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You know what I mean? But I spent so much time in one area. You know what I mean? What did it cost me to educate myself and be like, hey, did you know that if you count calories and you're just in a 500 to 1,000 calorie deficit, you can lose probably up to a pound a week? Just by, you're not even exercising, just by eating 500 to 1,000 less in your calorie maintenance. You know what I mean? If I would have found that out like at 12 years old, like I would have been physically fit probably by the time I got to high school. Or if I started high school, by the time I was a junior or senior, I would have been physically fit. If I would have done that freshman year of college, by the time I graduated, I would have been physically fit. You know what I mean? What did it cost me to explore options and have a vision for myself? You know what I mean? And so, like yesterday, you know, Friday, day 17, was kind of that motivation of like, you know what? I'm not where I want to be. And you know what I mean? Like I'm not where I want to be, how I look, how I feel. You know what I mean? How my clothes fit, the clothes that I want to dress. Let me tell you something. I have great fashion, and it comes from my dad, because my dad has great fashion as well. But, you know what I mean? I'm not going to invest in clothes because it's like, you know, for the longest I was like, oh, I'm not going to buy new clothes because I know I'm going to lose weight. But I really wasn't losing weight, so it was like, whatever. But now that I'm like, man, I'm going to lose weight. You know what I mean? I am not going to die like this. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm not going to spend money on clothes, but I would like to, because I would like to have, you know, certain aesthetics and dress this or that way. And never in my life have I ever dressed for anyone else. You know what I mean? But I like nice clothes. You know, I like to have, you know, good aesthetics. You know what I mean? So yesterday was kind of that motivation of like, hey, don't give up. Don't give up, man. You have a long way to go, and you're going to make it. You're going to make it because you have a vision, you have a goal. And it goes beyond just this. It's in your career, it's in your personal life, it's in your spiritual life, it's in your relationships, you know, with family and friends. You know what I mean? It's every aspect. Choose every single moment to be better and prepare yourself for a better future. Because You know, like I've kind of been repeating myself these past few videos. Like, time is gonna pass anyways. So you might as well start now because time is going. It's not like there's no timeout button. As much as we might want it, there's no timeout button. So get to work. You know what I mean? So these are the kind of things that I've just been realizing and I've been reflecting on. And you know, yesterday I wasn't uncomfortable, but I put myself in unfamiliar territory. You know what I mean? And it was also interesting because I don't know how to explain it. Hopefully she never sees this. It doesn't matter because it's not like, oh wow, I was thinking about this girl and this girl was going to become my girlfriend and this or that. No. But, you know, I met this girl through the salsa lessons and we kind of came up together and we're like taking the same classes and whatever. And so like we exchanged information last week, and then we were like, hey, like, you know, I've never been to social, like you, like, let's go together or whatever. But she brought a friend. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest, and I didn't know their situation. You know what I mean? So like that's why I don't know if she thought maybe, you know, oh, this guy doesn't, you know, mess with me or whatever. And it wasn't that. You know what I mean? I was being nice and cordial. It was just that I didn't know their situation. I didn't know if they were together or not, to be honest. And I wasn't like, oh, we're on, you know, this is our date, like we're going on a date. You know what I mean? But I didn't know that she was gonna bring like a friend like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It was kind of weird, but it was cool. The guy's cool, and we follow each other on Instagram now and stuff like that. So, you know, one thing I didn't really like about myself yesterday was I wasn't confident. You know what I mean? And I've been trying to learn how to fake it till I make it. You know what I mean? And I feel like I was too vulnerable. And you can have different opinions on that. You know, if it's, you know, good to be, you know. But it's kind of, you have to know the situation to be say, yeah, it is, or no, it isn't. So, you know, my advice, guys, you know, as you watch these videos, is like, this is a cautionary tale of like, wherever you are in life, however old you are, you know what I mean? Whether you are, come on, mama. Come on, mama. Mama. My mom's in front of me. You know what I mean? Whether you're, you know, you come across my videos and you're in middle school, or you're in high school, or you're in college, or you're in your 20s or 30s, wherever you are, like, evaluate your life and be like, hey, I have to start now preparing myself for where I want to be. Because time is going to pass, and every single moment, you know what I mean, every day that passes and I'm not part of, or I'm not involved in what I want out of life, and the only one to blame is myself. You know what I mean? So that was day 17. Felt good. Hit my protein goal. Hit all my shakes. Stayed under 800 calories. And you know, I did get cramps as I was waking up this morning. Which is weird because I feel like I drank a lot of water yesterday. It's like odd. But I'm also muscle fatigued from the gym, so who knows. All right.